Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of LMScast. I am Joshua Millage, and this is Christopher Badgett. And today we're talking about how to monetize a book and why every single author needs to be using an LMS system. So, Chris, the question goes to you. How do we monetize a book?
Awesome. Well, we just did 2 episodes about how to monetize a blog, how to monetize a podcast, and they're all a little different based on, the medium format. But how to monetize a book really starts with a conversation about why do that? There's a couple of reasons. One is a book is very largely text-based, maybe some images, but mostly text-based. And we're always a proponent of and fighting the battle for the end user, the end learner.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't do well with books. We've seen a huge amount of people moving away from the written book to Audible.
Yeah.
To do audio books, which you can take with you while you're running and doing something else or driving in the car and so on. So it's just a way to really open up that content to people with different learning styles and really the author also, there's a huge revenue potential for the author. They're raving fans that take the course are likely going to spend a lot more money for an online course, especially if it's really full of all that multimedia type of content, and also especially if the author includes something like some one-on-one time or group calls in there inside the learning management system. Now that this product becomes super valuable, not like a 99-cent ebook or a $25 hardback.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. So, and they can add a level of further explanation and teaching too, which is interesting. So this is really exciting to me because I used to work with a lot of authors. And I think one of the first things that you can do when you're thinking about monetizing your book, and this is a little more tactical, is chunking it down into focus areas. And I think a lot of authors do a great job of theoretically talking about whatever their subject matter is, but then they don't go into kind of the application side of it, like applied whatever it is, and helping people kind of chunk things down into actionable steps. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. A lot of books are about the why and the what, but not necessarily the how to and the action items. And mostly we're talking about the nonfiction niche in that part of the bookstore.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that's the how is what people will really pay for, and I think that's the thing that when you focus on that, then you can create a really valuable course. So the book actually then can become kind of a lead gen into your course. And I've seen a lot of people do that. Actually, there's the direct marketing guys do it the most blatant and probably the best. And at the end of almost every chapter, it's like, if you want more, head over to so-and-so and sign up for my, in their case, it's usually newsletter, but that's kind of the old school LMS, the paper newsletter, and getting lessons and things every month. I'm reading a book by John Carlton, and it's like every single chapter is a pitch for that.
to go to the website.
To go to the website and to enter in your email to receive something for free, but when you know what's happening, they're going to put you on a sales funnel. Which I think is pretty cool. So I think that a lot of people should look at their book as one of the ways to earn money and generate leads for the overall business. And I think a lot of authors don't look at themselves as a business. They don't look at their content as, they look at themselves as an artist or an author and not someone who should be focused on the money. And I think that not that you should be 100% gung-ho like money, 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 but as an author in this day and age, there's never been a better time to monetize your knowledge and monetize your teaching and utilize systems that are really low overhead. Like LifterLMS, you buy that plugin for $100 and you spin up a WordPress site, and for no more than I bet you could get everything done for under $500, and you could have a product that could generate thousands upon thousands of dollars of revenue, depending on, there's a lot of things I'm leaving out of that equation. Like, you got to be able to generate leads and things. But if you have a book going out there, that's going to happen. And if you have things in your book that say, hey, come and take the course that has to do with this chapter, you're going to have more leads than you know what to do with. So I think that's really important. And then, in the kind of the customer life cycle after you do the lead gen work, which the book can really help. Then you got to nurture them. So you're putting out content, free lessons and things that converts them onto your paid program. So
Absolutely. It might be a little overwhelming for a beginner, but this is some really good medium to advanced skill stuff here, is looking at your full sales funnel, looking at what some people call the integrated product suite, where you might have an ebook, a book, free blog, a podcast, online courses with your WordPress LMS,
right,
and live events, mastermind groups, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. All these things can work together if you are a subject matter expert to really propel you forward.
Right. Yeah, I would love to hear people's thoughts on this subject, and if they have, started to monetize their book, what their experience has been like. I know a lot of authors that I've worked with in the past are like, I wrote the book, I thought everything would come together, and it's like, no, the journey just started. There's an elephant that you have to eat, and you can eat it bite by bite. And just chunk it down.
I've heard a lot of authors also say, like, I didn't write a book for the money. It's getting harder and harder, unless you have a runaway bestseller, to actually make decent income from publishing a book. But what it does become is a big business card. And you get exposure on like Amazon.com and some of the other popular platforms. So
right. Yeah, I think it's a huge benefit. So this is great, man. This is kind of the bookend, for no pun intended, for the monetization episodes that we've done. Is there any closing thoughts that you have for the audience?
Yeah, I would just say, if you have written a book, you've already done a lot of the hard work that online course entrepreneurs face in terms of doing research, getting organized, dividing things into chapters and subheadings and so on. You already have the raw building materials to create an online course. So in many ways, your job is much easier. It's not about getting started. It's about morphing it into an online course, chunking it out, adding value. That you're already ahead of the curve. So if you're a book author and you're thinking about creating an online course, in some ways you have it easier than people who are starting at the beginning with just creating an online course. I'm also going to say the opposite. If you are an online course creator and want to get into the book market to help get exposure for you and your brand and your subject matter expertise, go for it. I actually challenged myself once to write a book in a weekend, self-published it. It was up on Amazon in 2 days. It's called Outdoor Leadership Secrets. You can look it up. And nice. It's totally possible to create a book fast, and it's totally possible to create an online course fast. It's all about just pulling the trigger and riding the bullet, as we say. and not stumbling over yourself. Just get it out there, publish it, put it up there for sale. You can make it better as time goes on. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, it's really just getting over the fear and going for it. So I love that, Chris. Well, thank you all for listening to us. We love doing these episodes, and I hope that you find this one valuable. You can head over to LMScast.com and leave us a comment. We want to have a conversation with you around these topics and see if we can help you further over there at the blog. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.